Welcome back, guys, to the show, The Ultimate General Civil War. Of course, we're doing the Union campaign. I want to thank the users that correctly pointed out that I hadn't taken supplies, so I went back and grabbed some supplies, about $7,000 worth, which I hope is going to be enough here. Now, we are bringing these skirmishers back from the river. I could care less whether we see the Confederates now or later. The fact is they're on their way, and we need to prepare for them. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put Walton over here in the woods. I'm hoping that this is going to be a pretty good defensive strategy. I'm going to do the same here with Edwin to sort of try to fire at them. We've already got skirmishers here ready to shoot at Law. So I do want to get forward in this really, really nice wooded area, spot Law, and start taking down some of his men. Obviously, we've got to hold these supplies for the Union. The rebels are trying to take these supplies to assist in their own war, in their own army, obviously, to assist their war effort, and we can't allow that. Colonel Johnny Jareth is wounded. Damn it, that was fast. Got a lucky bullet right in the hip, and unfortunately, he is going to be wounded. Seems more rebels try to surround us. More of them come from the northeast. That ain't good, boys. We're going to take Edwin here, and I'm going to have Edwin go and start firing at Ransom from this position. Obviously, Walton is approaching, although I'm starting to think Walton may be better off in the actual fort. I'm not 100% sure yet. Again, I'm just making snap judgments here, and we're still waiting for reinforcements. So we really have to try to hold these depots. I'm going to go ahead and open fire on Ransom. Boom! Nice quick shot. 4 of them down. It's not bad at all things considered, but I want to get some more kills here. Alright, there we go. Let's bring Walton forward. Come on, boy. I need you right now. For the rest of these guys, I'm going to go ahead and just move them as I see fit, as is necessary. And I think basically just forcing the enemy to stay back right now is going to help. Sort of forcing them to remain in one position is going to be of assistance. I'm going to detach some skirmishers here from Walton's group and use them to fire on Ransom. Obviously, I do want to use the cover of the woods, though. I don't just want them to, move over here willy-nilly and do whatever they feel like. Well, I don't think I've ever used that word in a string, willy-nilly. That's a new one for Agrippa. Here we go. Nobody's going to let me forget that. Also, don't forget, if you enjoyed this campaign, hit that like button. We need those likes. We really do. And actually, I see some artillery moving. I'm going to have to change my focus, although I might get some flanking shots for doing this. I think it's important to waste that artillery. They could obviously be very useful against our fort. So I'm going to go ahead and open fire here. And for once, the artillery actually outmans the skirmishers. So we can tell that this group of skirmishers is not the largest. It's a tiny group of skirmishers, but I think it makes a difference. Let's move Edwin over here. I'm going to try to get a flanking shot on Ransom. I think the more flanking shots we get, the better. But I am not going to stop firing at that artillery. There we go. Latimer is now running. I'm going to get Edwin. Come on, Edwin. Get a flanking shot. Even more Confederates sighted with artillery batteries. Well, shit. That ain't good. We've got some skirmishers over here at this tiny farm location. Fire. Fire, Edwin. There we go. Get Ransom. I'm still firing at Latimer. I'm going to go ahead and move over here and start firing at Law again. I think we're getting some pretty good shots on Ransom and Law and managing to keep them back for quite a while, which is definitely helpful. Let me actually move these skirmishers over here where the cavalry is, and I think we can probably wipe this unit out, maybe force them to retreat. That would be pretty amazing. The cover we have, even though we're kind of in the woods, is not as good as I expected it, but look at that. Now we're turning the enemy towards the artillery, forcing them to take some nasty shots in the process. This might work out. Sort of force them to focus on one area, and there we go. Look at that. Amazing. I'm going to do the same with Law, and I'm going to bring in Edwin and Walton to fire at Law from the flank as well. Come on, boys. Give them hell. The skirmishers are not really doing their job. We need them focused here. There we go. And don't forget, guys, we are supposed to get some reinforcements at some point during this battle. When, I can't tell you. Let's just hope that they show up very, very soon to assist us. Put it that way. Alright, Walton. Okay, I don't like that Ransom is sort of regaining his courage now. But we are definitely lessening their numbers. So I'm going to keep firing at Law here. I think one more volley would send them routing. And sure enough, beautiful. Now, Latimer is going to hit us with some shell shot. I'm wondering if I should continue and try to hit Ransom, or if I should fall back and maybe go back to the fort, defend it. I think right now I'm going to keep on fighting. But definitely something to consider is pulling back and just holding the fort. In fact, we're going to take a look here. Our skirmishers are going to be the first ones to see the enemy approaching here. So Evans is going to be approaching first, and we've got to watch this guy. So I am thinking, you know what, it's probably in our best interest to bring Walton back, bring a nice big infantry brigade back here. Of course, we're still going to keep firing at Latimer and try to lower the amount of artillery they have. And since Latimer is now out of ammo, I'm going to bring him back to our supply wagon. Why the hell not? And let's see how our skirmishers are doing here. I'll make sure they're firing. Quite a lot of artillery positions over there from the enemy. We do want to give them some shots. Even if we lose some men, we at least want to hold them back temporarily until hopefully some reinforcements arrive to make this just a little bit easier for us. I actually find this to be one of the toughest initial missions in the game. Some people may not believe that. They might be amazed by that, but I have actually lost this mission before quite a few times, and I'm usually pretty good at Ultimate General Civil War. I had it obviously before it came out, so I've been practicing with it for quite a while, but this is one mission that really does bug me quite a lot of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and move those infantry into position. Look at that. Look at that. That is way too many infantry for my liking, and we're definitely going to need some reinforcements to assist in stopping this massive amount of infantry units from reaching us. Here we go. Better give me something good. Come on, boys. The rebels are too many, but your soldiers just arrived just in time. Advance and secure the supply depots. Well, we better get some soldiers, and I mean really better get some soldiers. Apparently now we can counterattack, but I don't think we're going to be doing any counterattack. So Miller is our skirmisher brigade. We're going to bring him over here to the fort. We better get more guys than just Miller. I mean, thank you, but really they ain't much. Unfortunately, our skirmishers surrendered. Leaving them out there to fight it out on their own probably wasn't the greatest idea in the world. And let me also get the supply wagon up here so that he can get some supplies to our skirmisher unit. Even though it's only 118 men, it's 118 men that know how to shoot, they know how to use their weapons, they're going to be helpful. We got scales too. I want scales over here. And so far, just getting some skirmishers and scales, that doesn't seem like a huge amount of help. I don't mean to sound I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but yeah, that's not what I was looking for. Charge. We have sabers, you don't. Let's hope that those sabers work. Of course, our units are exhausted. They're also out of ammo, so this is probably a decent time to charge. And it does look like, yep, sure enough, Ransom is routing. Awesome. That's what I like to see. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull back, and I'm going to take these guys and get them to the supply wagons. Okay, here we go. We got the first Confederates arriving. We're going to bring Loomis forward. As you can see, this happens very quickly. Bring Miller forward, try to hit these guys on the flank. And let's see. Come on, Loomis. Definitely going to try to charge with Bartow. Let's see if I can stop that charge. I hope that Richardson can hold the line. If not, we'll bring Walton in. But you can see they're attacking from all different directions. That's not good. Come on. Nice. Bartow's routing. I like to see that. What else do we have here? We got Scales on the way. Bring Walton in here. Fire on Daniel. They are really going for that first fort. We need that ammo. Come on, let's go, boys. Good shooting. Miller, why aren't you doing your job, son? Actually, I want Miller to go and fire at these artillery cannons, but right now they're just throwing a round shot at us. It's not exactly the deadliest shot, but hey, it can get the job done. Let me get Walton in there, take over the fort. They've secured the first supply depot, but I believe we are going to try to re-secure it as quickly as we can, of course. As soon as we get B to fall back, we're going to get our up-close and personal shot on B here from the camp. Come on, give him hell, boys. Edwin. We got Scott, dealing with Scott over here. Might as well go ahead and try to waste him, especially since he's going for our supplies. We can't do everything at once. Wish we could. Come on. We secured the supply depot again. We need to hold it, for God's sake. And actually, I'm going to bring these cannons up here, because I think now the battle has kind of shifted to the north. Richards is, of course, going to have to come back to the battlefield. Look at how many Confederates are trying to take that first supply depot. I mean, it's pretty intense. We're probably going to be able to rout our men. So we've got to go ahead and push forward, push into the supply depot, and try to retake it. Like I told you guys before, I've lost this battle before. It wouldn't have been the first time. So we're definitely going to try to get up there and change some stuff. I'm looking back here. I don't think they have any more infantry, so I may leave that second supply depot just to try and take the first. It might seem like losing strategy, but I don't know. I think we have no choice. Okay, here we go. Scales is here. He can fire some canister shot right into the enemy lines. Try to waste everybody in this fort. They've definitely taken the fort at this point. Let's get Richards to fire on Walker. In fact, Walker's getting hit from multiple locations. Come on, boys. Oh, there we go. Scott is hitting us from behind with a damn charge. Unbelievable. Got to have Walton fire at Scott. We can't let our cavalry get wasted here. Come on, Miller. There we go. There we go. We're going to keep chasing Miller because I know he's going to want to get back in the fight sooner rather than later. And we're going to bring our supplies forward as well, just to make sure that our men have enough supplies. Fire at Evans. Of course, Scales is already giving Evans hell. But Richards is now in battle, and that is not good. Not good at all. I hope Richards can hold out against these Confederates. We need him to survive. What's going on over here? Edwards is being chased. These Confederates may just secure that first supply depot, guys. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and turn our attention to Evans once again. Looks like Walker is still managing to hold on here. Let's fire at that cavalry. They're going to try to charge. That would be madness, I think. Although we did just have a close combat fight, so maybe they're getting the right idea that they could charge in with their sabers and do pretty well. Luckily for us, it's not working out too well for them. Miller, fire at B. I mean, they've got us constantly under pressure. I'm even going to move up our skirmishers of 45. I'm going to grab Walton and move him up. Maybe hit Scott on the way. And we may eventually need to charge here, to be honest with you. This is the one reason I'm not going to leave this position. They've got that cavalry there. And I think the cavalry could possibly take the position, and then we're right back where we started. So at least we can hold the second supply depot. Richards, again, in a close combat fight. Looks like our skirmishers are taking off for good. Can't really blame them considering the amount of men they had left. Miller. Come on, boys. Got a lot of men there. Come on, Walton. Arrive at your position, boy. Might have Walton counter charge here. I think that's what I'm going to do. There we go. They're running, and Walton's exhausted, so I'm going to let him take a break here. Richards, I don't need you to attack right yet. But Walton, I do need you to start firing. And yeah, it might come down to a charge, guys. We may have to attempt to charge to be able to take this position back. With Loomis and the rest of these guys, we've got Agrippa here to help secure the charge, so we're going for it. There we go. After that canister shot and after some shots, we're going for it. Charge, boys. Charge, Richards. Charge, Walton. I know you're exhausted, but this is not the time to be exhausted. Agrippa, move forward. So help your men secure this fort. This is going to be the charge of the century. Loomis is getting in there, but I don't know if he's got enough morale to be able to take it. I mean, it would be awesome if he did. Evans is dropping quickly, but Loomis, I don't know how much morale he has. Again, that's the biggest concern here. Richards, you're right up on Walker. Keep firing. Up close and personal, Blake. That's right. Keep shooting, and we secured the first supply depot once again. I don't know how long we're going to secure it for. We're still firing with Miller at B, and actually he might drop pretty soon. We've got more skirmishers than he has infantrymen, and that's definitely helpful, although Miller is wounded, and that's not going to be helpful. So there we go, Loomis. It looks like he won the battle. I'm going to try to secure the depot again with Loomis. We did manage to rout those Confederates. Let's see if we can take over the depot here and make this a winning strategy. I mean, the close combat and the melee is continuing. I'm going to move Scales forward. Loomis is getting into position. If we can take over the fort, it's going to be very, very helpful, of course. Try to fire at Daniel. Alright, there we go. Evans is routing. Let's focus our fire on Daniel because Walker is getting shot badly, and we are definitely forcing him back. So I'm going to focus fire here. Come on, boys. We're so close. Of course, we got Bartow on the way. Luckily, we damaged him somewhat in those first stages of the battle. But I need Scales to continue the damage dealing with his canister shot. Boom! That's what I'm talking about, baby. We're getting flanking shots from the freaking cavalry. Not too much we can do about that, unless we want to get the woods out of here, which I don't. So Walton's going to have to receive a nasty cavalry charge. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this one. This is a nasty one. And sure enough, the enemy cavalry managed to rout him. That's bad. Especially since White's Head can continue the rout. He plays his cards right. Come on, Richards. We're going to put Agrippa right there in the fort. Miller, we can use you. Get your ass over here. Just got to hold on for that timer until that timer runs out. It's going to be a lot harder than it seems. Especially since we got Confederates all throughout this fort. At least we're sending Daniel back reeling. Look at that. We got Walker on the way. I'm going to have Scales target him. B is coming back for more. Probably going to try to charge Miller here. Nice! A nice and devastating shot before he got there. But look at that. Loomis is definitely... Looks like he's pulling back a little bit. Come on, get that shot on Walker. Get that damn shot on Walker and get our supplies in better order. Keep having to shift to find Walker, but I think the canister shot is going to be devastating to him. Boom, boom. That's what I'm talking about. I know that you're scared, Agrippa. This is not time to be scared, and luckily we actually got those Confederates to retreat completely. I'm just going to stack up in the fort at this point. Hope that that's going to save us. Move Richards forward and have him fire on Bartow. General Johnston is there. He is going to provide some pretty nasty morale boosts for the men. And obviously Walton over here can keep moving forward. I think I'm going to try to go for Walker. There we go. He's been routed by Scales and his devastating canister shot. At this point, we've just got to continue. Keep on moving forward and keep the faith that we can hold on here. And we do have poor little Edwin. I'm going to bring Edwin out. Maybe just to disrupt their operations slightly. And I mean really slightly, because there's not much he can do at this point. But at least we got Miller back. A few more men that can help us reinforce the location. Oh, Walton. I would say that this is a pretty awesome fight. Now, Loomis is pulling back. I don't like that. Can't have anyone retreating here. So I'm going to put Richards in Loomis's position. Kind of hold in the fort. Bartow's getting mighty close. And Evans up there from the north. That can't be good news. He's going to try to charge, I think. So I'm once again going to stack up here in the fort. Come on, boys. Hold out a little while longer. There we go. Get in the fort, Agrippa. You should feel safe. Your men have taken this damn fort. Of course, our supply wagon is kind of in disarray. I don't think he really knows what to do. But I want to bring Edwin back. Maybe even hit Daniel here. Here we go. Fire on Law, Walton. The Confederates are desperately trying to control this position. We're going to bring Loomis back into the center of the fort. Wow, they are getting desperate. Definitely desperate. But so far we've held, and that's a start. Just barely held. Ripper's going to have to run back to this cabin, but I want him back on the battlefield. Miller, you got this, man. You got this. Don't let Evans scare you. This is our victory, my friends. There we go. Finish. Victory at the distress call. That's what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at the casualties. We lost 2,055. Enemy lost 3,386. Not bad. I want to go ahead and see our officers. Unfortunately, Manuel Miller was wounded. At least we got no officers killed, and we've got some promotions. which we can dish out, and that's going to be great. We also captured some Springfield M1842s, so a little money we can save when we're building these new brigades. There we go, guys. 65 grand, 3,900 men. Of course, Miller, we're going to have to get some reserves. I want to see what Washington can send us. They can actually send us some M. Palmetto M1842s, which I'm going to order. And we also get General John Gibbon, so I'm going to take over that. I'm going to replace Lewis Wagner with John Gibbon here. And maybe these guys can get Wagner. So Wagner's going to take over this group. We're going to get rookies initially for the skirmishers.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys are probably begging me to get some veteran units, so for one of these units, I am going to get veteran units for Walton and for Loomis. Because I think, number one, we can afford it, and number two, it's good to sort of even it out as best you can. For this, we're going to get rookies. We've got 10-pounder ordnance. I want to see if we got any other weapons. I think the 6-pounder. Yeah, I guess we could equip the 6-pounders. At least it'll let us fill up the gap. So we'll apply. And for career, take a look here. Economy is definitely something we need to work on. We'll reduce the cost of purchasing new weapons, but Army organization is what's going to give us more men. So I'm going to go ahead and apply on Army organization. We are going to have to start that 2nd Division with the command of, I guess we could take old Daryl. And we're going to go for another infantry brigade. We got that M1842 rifle. Now we're down to 800 men, so I think we're probably going to have to go for a cavalry brigade. It's about time to get that cavalry brigade. A little expensive, I must admit. And we still have that 7,000 in supply. I hope that's enough. So 678 for a cavalry brigade. Well, let's hope it's enough. Of course, I don't know what to do with 151 men. I think we're going to just have to go into battle with that. And maybe increase that to 7964, why not? And we'll head to the first Bull Run battle. So we're going to deploy, guys, for first Bull. If you're not familiar with the American Civil War, first Bull Run was a Confederate victory. So if we manage to win here, that's going to be huge. If we lose, I don't know. I don't know if the campaign ends or if we just continue as if kind of the way the Civil War happened anyway. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And the rebels are guarding the Manassas Railroad Junction with a strong force, a few miles eastwards from this location. Bull Run River is defended by several CSA brigades, and it is too risky to pass. It is advised to initiate a feint attack on this bridge with a small amount of regiments. That's a lot to remember, I think. But let's see what else we've got here. Main forces can pass down the river from this section and attack the left flank of the Confederate Army. That's good to know. And if we act fast, the rebels will have no time to reinforce the area, so we can easily sweep them off the battlefield. Obviously, that's what generals thought at the time. That's not necessarily true. Then we'll move eastwards and deal the final blow. We can end the war today, General. Good luck. Okay, well, I don't feel very lucky. So we're ready to execute the feint attack at the Stone Bridge. And rebel regiments are guarding the area, so we need to be cautious. I'm thinking the only way to break through here is going to be a charge. If we just start firing across at a heavily defended position, we're going to get wasted. Well, we've got to maybe get lucky with a full frontal assault, and I'm only hoping that this works. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. You know how this works. If you like this campaign, hit that smash on that like button, share the video, comment down below. Everything helps us to get more and more viewers. And, ooh, look at that. We've got some artillery. That's going to be very helpful. So I'm going to set my guys up over here, and I hope you guys will be back for part 3. Take care, guys, and glory to the Union.